Shalom, shalom. This brother Mawak coming to you again out in the highway and the byway, bringing out this gospel of truth to edify the hopefully elect of Yasharala Israel, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics, to warn the hard-headed two-thirds of our people of the judgments of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah is going to bring to this wicked kingdom known as the United States of America, but spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. And it's always a pleasure that Esau the Edomite, dusty, ranking, stinking, wicked-ass, murderous crackers know, okay? The devil that the Bible speaks of know that you're going in hardcore bondage real soon when the Mashiach returns. Before we get started, let's give all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Kakadash. Double honors to teachers, elders, and apostles, great millstone, likewise, brothers, spin out the truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep with you, brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom. Here we are again. You know, and these weeks are going real quick. You know, I don't know if y'all are feeling it, but it just seemed like it was yesterday that I was out here, you know, on the highway and the byway. And of course, you know, here in Great Babylon, America, people are prepping out for what is soon to be, Labor Day weekend, okay? You know, just another weekend for a party, okay? And, you know, these people are just, you know, in the zone, okay, in that blissful zone, you know, trying to, or hoping that, you know, the evil prince, okay, you know, Donald J. Trump, okay, make good on what he promised, which is make America great again. But we can tell you, America will never be great again. Okay, it's had its best days behind it. Now, here's this thing that's going on right now. You got a lot of Jakes them, you know, they're very offended because, you know, yeah, you're right. Our ministry is about the destruction of Great Babylon, America, okay, and the saving of the righteous of Yasharala, Israel, okay, so-called Black Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics, okay, whose seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But there's also, you know, the destruction of these Edomites' kingdom. And Jakes them are offended by that. They don't like that. Like, why don't we let bygone be bygone? They're trying, you know, they're trying to change. Trying is not good enough. Let's go into the scriptures here. Because, see, our job isn't to, you know, come on here and try to pacify you. Okay, yeah, the righteous are going to be pacified because they believe what's coming out of this book. Okay, but this is what we're supposed to speak. It says, this is out of the book of Obadiah 1:10. It reads, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob. Okay, who's this talking about? This is talking about Esau, okay, the Edomite, the so-called white man, okay, the white people, okay, these Amalekites, okay, Caucasians, whatever the hell they want to go by. It doesn't matter. Jacob is the 12th tribe of Israel, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics, okay? Whether you want to believe it or not, you don't have to. But you can see the actions of this man taking place here in Great Babylon, America, where he's building internment camps, okay? And believe it or not, out here in El Paso, you go ask 9 or 10 people out here have no clue that there's an internment camp. And I'm talking about adults, have no clue that there's internment camps out here. You got one called Camp Bliss out there on Fort Bliss, and they build like two other big ones, and they have a detention center there on Montana Avenue, okay, which makes headlines all the time because of the harsh treatments, okay, that Jakes are experiencing inside there. But you got a lot of these doggone Latinos and Hispanics, you know, which come from like all over the place. You know, there's a whole mixture of them. They're not all Mexicans, okay. You ask them, hey, what do you think about the internment camps? What are you talking about? They actually don't believe that they're going to get thrown in these camps because they feel like they're born here in Great Babylon, America, so they're exempt from it. And it's like, well, okay, keep thinking that way. Okay, when we talk about the wickedness of this man, we talk about butt breaking, we talk about the unnecessary incarceration of Jakes, you know, so that they can keep Jake in that slave system, which we know these prison system. Okay, they're corporations basically, all right? So they come up with anything to try to get, you know, a Jake man, okay, inside one of these institutions, okay? Constantly setting up snares, and we're gonna go into that, all right? They have our women fat, nasty, out of shape, and rude, and friggin' obnoxious, and completely out of order, okay? Running around amok, okay? And no matter how much you talk to our women, they can't seem to get it. This man don't like you, man. And what he's done is he's taken women that was nice and slender and feminine back in the, say, 70s and 80s and turned them into these morbidly obese, stinky, bald-headed pieces of shit that no man wants. Certainly none the man in the Lord wants. I don't want you, okay? That's wickedness, man. And these are all the things that, you can call that violence also too, because you women are going to die eventually, man, because ain't no man can save you. The Lord is not going to give you over to a righteous man to save you okay, in the day of judgment, when they start kicking your door down, grabbing your fat ass out there and stumping your guts and throwing you in one of these internment camps, okay? And not to mention with the Jake man, okay? I mean, I could show you this poster right now, all right? And people don't like to see this poster like that, but I hold it out. I hold it out and show it to the people driving by in their car or walking. And you will not walk up to this camp, okay, and not see this poster. And I will explain this poster to you because this is prominent in Deuteronomy 28 of what this man is going to do, where we would have no assurance of our life. So there's no way that you can come out on the highway and the byway and preach this gospel without showing and calling out this man for all his wickedness. And we don't give a flying crap about any of you damn niggas or spicks or whoever the hell you are feelings out there. Okay? This is for you and you should be listening. Okay? It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So there it is right there. What is that shame? Us bringing out, okay, all of your wickedness, man. Okay? We can call it out. We ain't gonna fluff it up, man. We know right now, okay, they're preparing to roll out 6G, which 6 is the devil's number, okay, which is why when you go back a couple years ago, they were saying what? 6 feet apart, 6 feet this, 6 that, 6 that, 6 that, 666, and they come up with that stuff like that because the 6 is the devil's number, okay? So 6G is going to be the final generation, okay, of the internet, in which they're going to do what, okay? They're going to roll out the MOTB. Now, you people need to understand this, okay? This is a direct judgment that's coming from the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, okay, the Most High, on this world. Okay, and pursuant to what we can go into. Let's go into Revelation 2, and let's go in the book of Revelation 3 and 10. Okay, reads, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon it. So what is going to come upon the world? Look here. We don't create these posters just because we have extra money to create these posters. We create these posters that we need to understand. Okay? See this here? Okay? This is what's going to be that challenge that the people on this earth is going to have. Okay? So people can have their head up their ass if they're all they want. Okay? You know, they can go lay on the beach. They can go watch their favorite show. They can go drink margarita, eat salsa, whatever the hell that is you want to do to try to hide from the fact, okay, that sooner or later, and in the very near, more sooner than later, okay, that the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is going to allow this man to bring out that judgment that he has for the whole entire world. So let's get back to Esau, because again, what's that shame that's covering Esau? Okay, I showed you that poster. Okay, violence, man. When you butt breaking a man, that's violence, Esau. Okay, and that's what you doggone little sissy Edomites. Okay, you so-called white boys y'all like to do that shit. That's what I always tell Jake, man. Hey, mind your business around these doggone dudes, man. Okay? Mind your business, meaning mind yourself. Okay? Don't ever trust your enemy. What does Scripture say? Never trust thy enemy. Okay? Never trust thy enemy. Okay, you seem to don't understand that because Becky might be smiling up in your face, and you know, Bobby might share a beer with you or whatever. Say, so what? Take the beer and they'll go and say, okay, nigga, get the fuck out my face. Alright? Call it a day. See, the Lord can put us cold. The Lord has already put a cold spirit on brothers, okay? And but that spirit is going to be a little bit more colder in the time to come, because we're going to need, okay, to gird up our sackcloth, okay, in the day of trouble that's coming right now. We don't have time to be emotional and say, okay, well, you know, I benefited in this country and all that stuff. This place is going to be doggone destroyed, man. In fact, let's go, let's talk a little bit more here, okay? Because we see, okay, what took place out there with that Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier. They're not even feeding the service members, and those of you who serve, and I can tell you from experience like that, they do have a policy in which a lot of time when supplies can't get over to, like when you have logistical issues, okay, something that the United States have never had to face before is really have that heavy logistical issues when you're talking about you know, getting supplies, especially food and nourishment over to service members. Okay, so a lot of time they'll go into what is called rationing. Okay, rationing. They have the food, but they would ration. So the stories that was coming off of that boat, those stories are true. Okay, they have been verified. Okay, by those who actually was able to slip out some of the some of the information. And they do keep security a little tight, but they could block, your ability to transmission or transmit any type of communication from aboard those boats, or even if you're actually on a base. Because a lot of time when we had casualties, they would use I think it's an AWAC, okay, that will block all the signal for what 100 miles, okay, 100 miles. You can't no transmission will go out until they do the investigation like that and they notify next of kin. Because what they don't want is a bunch of like rumors and doggone gossip going online concerning the incident that takes place. But if you see they're having a problem right now with Iran and the war hasn't really kicked up yet, and they can't feed their service members, imagine what happens, okay, when you have Russia and China involved, with the ability, to use hypersonic missiles. What do you think the Russia and China is going to be targeting? These nations are going to be targeting? They're going to be targeting the logistics. Okay, now the largest logistics on this earth and the most complex logistics on this earth is the United States. Is the United States Army. Okay, and as a former logistics officer, I can attest for how complex that is, and it's well oiled. It's extremely highly streamlined. Okay, for those of you who know what streamlined is, go look it up. Okay, but it's incredibly streamlined. Okay, and when you had the OEF and OIF, war going on, you'd have service members going over there and literally come back 30, 40 pounds heavier than they went over there because there was so much food to eat. Okay, especially if you happen to be in Kuwait or if you like at Kandahar, not so much at Camp Leatherneck, because that was a Marine base there, and they eat, but not to the luxury level like in Kandahar and Bagram, and like Camp Victory and those places, But one thing you had was a lot of food. I mean, lobster, steak. I mean, the works back in the day. They weren't fighting adversary that had the ability to shoot down a C-130 cargo plane or shoot down, a C-17, cargo plane. Okay, they didn't have the adversary. The Afghanis did not have that ability. Iraq did not have that ability. In fact, every country that the United States have gone against since Japan have not had the ability to take down their logistics, so they never had to worry about that. However, you now have nations that have the ability to take down the logistics, and that's going to be a big challenge. Okay, is to feed the tens of thousands of troops out there, especially the fact that American service members are complete gluttons. Look at them, man. They're overweight, soft and pudgy and fat and overweight, with the exception of, special forces guys and stuff like that, and certain other ones that have. Most of the American service members are pudgy and fat and overweight because they eat so damn much. You go to the DFAC out here on Fort Bliss, I mean, they're like swines, man, just going up and down, just eating to their heart's content. So of course they're going to complain when they're not getting a big stock of food and, chocolates and all kinds of desserts and stuff like that, throughout the day and stuff like that. Normally you can eat you can just like graze all day on these ships, but that's not the case. Because why? When you take a look at how there's shortages here, and even in the United States, there's going to be shortages over there. They might give you one MRE that might have to last for 2 days. Okay, so a challenge of why the U.S. is going to suffer so much in World War III is going to be the same way how the Japanese were starved out. That was a strategy that the U.S. used with the Japanese, is that they blocked their supply, they disrupt their supply chain. A lot of the Japanese, they starved, and they basically turned to cannibalism. And I can see that happening, okay, with these deployments, where there's cannibalism when people can't eat. All right, but I think I went on with that a little bit longer than I wanted to. But let's go into you jakes that so let's go to 2 Corinthians 6, because a lot of you jakes out there, and I'm talking about you men, okay, or you, when I say men, okay, don't take that literally like you're a man actually, because in reality you're a bitch. Okay, I'm talking about the fact is that biologically you're born a male. You see the videos with the elder brothers and putting the videos with these doggone, these nappy-head little niggas and coming out talking their shit. But I renounce being a Hebrew Israelite. I was in a cult or whatever the case is like that. Well, when you're a part of Great Babylon America, that's a cult. A cult. Okay, when you look at it, it's something that's different from what a normal society would experience. For example, you have a place, okay, that has a man cut off his rod, okay, and tuck it in to become supposed to be mimic a vagina. Okay, you have two men that are marrying, two women that are marrying. Okay, that's a fucking cult. Okay, that is a fucking cult. Okay, so America in itself is a fucking cult, if you want to talk about what a cult is. Okay, this is righteousness, and this is what we talk about, is all about righteousness. You see kings here. This is why you see us dressed up in the earthly royal robe right now as we speak. Because we're gods, okay, trapped in these bodies that can decay and die. Alright? So let's go into Corinthians. So let's call you little passive aggressive sissies out. Alright? Because these are the same type right here that's going to stand by and watch this cracker come and pretty them and beat the shit out of their damn mom, rape their damn son and daughters, and do absolutely no damn thing. Because you got the spirit of docile pussiness inside your ass, okay? And I don't mean literally inside your ass, so to speak, okay? So this is our 2 Corinthians 6. And let's go to start with verse 14 here. Yeah, it's a little kind of windy, so you might, Okay, so it says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship had righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communication had light with darkness?" So we are light, okay? Starting with the apostles, all the way down to brothers like myself, okay? We are the light, okay? We are the believers. You're not gonna break our belief. We're not in it for popularity. We're not in it to make a new friend or a new buddy or whatever cases like that. All right, and every brother in this has a particular portion to divvy up to him, okay, by the Mashiach, okay, and we all come with different personalities, whether your personality was from the world, and that's what you bring to the table, and how we all come out and deliver. But nonetheless, the Lord requires us to come out and deliver, okay, His message. Okay, His message is two-part. One, there's one of hope, which is for us, and there's one of condemnation, which is going to be for these Edomites, okay, and the rest of you Jakes. Okay, that are like these. Okay, you're an unbeliever. So you rather believe in a doggone Caesar Borgia picture. You rather look, here you are, black, here you are, dark brown, okay, some of you are light brown. You're getting beat the hell down, thrown in prison cells, so you can't get a damn job, can't pay your damn bills, getting thrown in these internment camps. You're getting stumped down by the people that you want to be, you want to walk and be equal to. We don't want to be equal to Esau. And I look right in this doggone camera and tell you, doggone crackers, I don't want to be equal to you. Okay, you Edomites. You're beneath me. You're 18 tribes graded, you Edomites at the bottom, the base of man. Alright? And even your AI is hypocrite. Go type in AI and talk about who's the base of man. And the AI will have you all over the damn place going, whoa, that's just subjective. No, it's not subjective. It's written in the scripture, it's true. Okay? And we stand firmly with it. Okay? We stand stiffly with it. Continuing, it says, "And what concord had a Mashiach with Belial, or what part had he that believed with an infidel?" So we can't attribute, okay, the Yahweh Shai, okay, to Baal or friggin' doggone a false deity, okay, to a false deity. Okay, he's actually a true living power. Okay, second only to the Most High. Okay, Yahweh. All right. So we don't look at the picture of Caesar Borgia and go, okay, that's my power, that's my God. For what? You don't find it odd that you're looking at a picture of a long-haired hippie guy that looking at a crack addict or a drug addict, and you're supposed to believe that somehow this is your power, but somehow he conveniently put only the ones that look like him in a good state of living, and people that look like you, this darker skinned creation, is in a doggone pathetic state. Get the hell out of here, man. What the fuck is that? It says, "And what agreement had the temple of power with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power. As power had said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they should be my people." So, you're chosen out of the world by the Mashiach. We don't choose to come out of the world. Okay, some of us in the world a lot longer than others, and so you have a lot more anguish and stuff. Like you might have experienced hell of a lot more compared to another brother, because you were in the world a lot longer. You have brothers in this that are in their 20s. So, and then their experience of dealing with this devil is limited. It depends on what capacity of socioeconomic status you were in this society. Okay, you probably might get to see the worst part of Esau. Okay, so Esau when if you have a mop in your hand doing extreme menial labor like that, Esau will smile at you and be all nice to you. They might even give you a cup of water or buy you a soda or even buy lunch for you, and they smile. And some jakes them, they think, oh, they like me. Oh, they accept me. No, they don't accept you. They're smiling because of the fact is that you're beneath them. It's like looking at a damn dog, a mangy dog, walking on the street. It looks up at you, it see you eating, and hope that you drop whatever you have in your mouth on the ground so that it can eat it. Do you like it? No, you just throw it on the ground because it's convenient for you to just feed that mangy ass dog, and that's how these people look at you, man. Now, when you step up to the next level and try to go into like corporate America, and I mean like in a good high paying position that pays over $100,000 a year or more, that gives you stock options, all that stuff like that, and you will see exactly what racism look like. Okay, because how dare you think that you can come and get a job like this? Because of course they don't want to see you being able to provide for your doggone family. Now, granted, Jake do slip through. Okay, I slip through. Okay, granted, Jake do slip through, but we don't attribute that to what we did. Okay, of course you were. You went to school and you did everything. You got all the certification. You did all that stuff, and you finally got there. Like you might say, okay, maybe that was it. But in reality, now you look back at it, it really was your how about you, how shy. In fact, let me bring that out to you because let me finish this first and I'll bring that right to you. It says, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, said the Lord, touching on the unclean thing that I will receive you. Okay, and I will be a father unto you, and you should be my sons and daughters, said the Lord Almighty. Okay, so bottom line is that you got to separate from this world. I did a lesson yesterday concerning, it was Jake. It was don't look back. The crown is ahead. Okay, and I had a Jake sitting in a car, with a rear view mirror, basically, which symbolizes his life. He's driving away. He's going away from his life. He's going away from his life, and in that rear view mirror, it's images of what his life used to be, or what he thought was, accomplishments. Graduating from high school, college, maybe getting a high-paying job, getting a nice, pretty girl, all that stuff. Okay, but that's the past. Okay, in the front is a crown. So what is it, Jake? You want temporary satisfaction, or you want eternal immortality? I mean, it should be obvious. But see, our people like the temporary, they like the instant gratification, which is exactly how the society is. This is the reason why you have fast food, why you have everything is instant gratification. Everything is all about, okay, now get it now. It's all about you. No, but when we go into, let's go take a look at this here. Let's talk about what happens. Let's talk about what happens when you're in that position there. Okay. It talk about riches. Okay, because the Lord can actually make you rich. He can make you. He can. This is Book of Psalms, 62:10 reads, "Trust not in oppression." Okay, and what is oppression? We're living it. We are living it. Oppression is the fact that I have to see two men walk holding hand, kissing each other in this society, and there's nothing I can do about it. When the scripture tells you a baddie boy is supposed to be in the spirit world. It's just that simple. Women can talk down to you, and be any kind of wicked ass way to you. You can't correct them. You can't discipline their ass. Okay? Even your kids. Even the dogs or the animals or the pets are out of order. All right? You get a man, you get a ruler or rulers that are clearly biased in every aspect of their rulership. Okay? One set of people can just get away with just murdering, killing another set of people, and it's okay. They had a bad day. Okay, let's get them psychological evaluation. Here it is. You're a 10-year-old Jake. accidentally grab a damn a candy bar in the store, and they're ready to put you away for doggone life and charge you as an adult. Or wrestle you down to the ground and beat you. You have grown-ass men taking down little 12-year-old or 10-year-old or preteen jakes on the ground and beating them like they're in MMA. And that's accepted. And they get to walk and keep their doggone job, and nothing happens with it. I'm going to read to you doggone motherfucking crackers out there, okay, you Edomites out there. Your days of fucking laying hands on us is coming to an end soon. And on top of that, you're going to get hands laid on you in this time. The Lord is going to use our 2/3 that he's going to eliminate. And they're not going to go down quietly. They're just not going to just get eaten up by bears and wolves and shit like that. Okay? And they're not going to get just, pock shot with sniping. Because a lot of you don't going to Edomites think that's what you're going to do. You're going to just be sniping jakes. Okay? So y'all going to practice at a range. Jakes practice on each other. So, who do you think is really cold? Okay? You doggone pussy ass Edomites that freaking walk around with your doggone mask on your damn face because you scared to talk about how you really feel about those so-called blacks and Native Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics. Do you see our face covered? We look right into the camera, live stream it, and we say exactly what the hell it is that we need to say to you. And we don't cover our face. And guess what? Nothing happened. Not a damn thing's happened. Our job and duty is to prophesy exactly how your end is going to come tonight. Okay, which is going to be by what? Bloodshed. All right? So trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. Why? The place is going to end real soon. So the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, I do bless you with the ability to pay your bills and also, hey, Tabadi Yahweh Shemashah for it. Okay, share it if you can. If there's somebody worthy to accept to get it. Okay? If it's possible. Other than that, okay, consciously, okay, as a brother in this ministry, you already know at some point in time, okay, this place is going to fall apart to the point to where okay, bottom line is your riches is not really going to save you in that day. All right, we come into a time right now, Jake, where we're going to go through some hard times, man. It's just the way it is. Okay, it's just the way it's going to be. Okay, we're going to go through some hard times. There's going to be persecution. Okay, and if you understand how Esau them work, they like to go after the head of things. Okay, so most likely they're looking at the more popular brothers in this, and I'm not calling any names. Okay, starting from the top, and Esau is going to assume if they grab them up, that the rest of us are going to fall. Not understanding like that. Okay, this is an individual. While it's a collective, it's an individual thing. Okay, if one of us fall, the others continue to move on and move forward with them. Continue to move forward. It's just the way it is. Okay. But in Esau's strategy is going to be to try. Let me grab the head of that camp, and once I grab the head of that camp, the rest of us brothers going to fall. That's not going to happen. That's why you have a second in command, third in command, fourth in command, and tell that brother holding the assignment be the one that's actually going to be reading the precept. And that's just the way it is. All right. So Esau, you should actually give us some credit. It's not that simple. All right. That's why the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, okay, called brothers out of the world and gave each brother a portion to go do it. But we are all collective, okay, in the body. All right. Let's go into our second answer. So I actually want to talk about this for a second, because a lot of you that going Edomites believe that only us going to catch out. Now we talk about our two-thirds who are going to die either by the sword, the famine, okay, the beast of the field, okay, or the lake of fire. All right, which means what? That's one way the Lord is going to judge. Okay, put you back in the spirit world. But that means that the rest of you tribes that are here are also going to be experiencing that too. So it ain't gonna be business as usual where you get to hide in your little, your little personal community, like little Vietnam, little Tokyo, little Beijing, little Russia, whatever, just like that, and think that out here it's just gonna be those doggone Negroes' fault. Esau, like we've always said, Esau have used, okay, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, and Hispanics as what? As a means to make you other people docile. You think, you accept brutality when it's not you. You accept brutality when it's a dark-skinned man that's on the street, on the highway, in the byway, being shot like a dog or shot like an animal. You accept brutality, okay, when it's a young brown Jake or dark-skinned brown Jake, being raped, kidnapped, missing, thrown in these internment camp. You accept it. You've been conditioned to accept brutality. So the Lord is going to have that brutality come on your doggone dumb, stupid ass too. Okay? Because you people see, as long as it's happening to us, it doesn't matter. You would appropriate our culture. You want to take the music. You want to be entertained. All that stuff like that. But then again, you don't accept what comes along with being us. All right? But we got something for you. All right? Listen to this very carefully. Let's go into the book of 2nd Ezra. I think it's 6, starting with verse. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 6, starting with verse 22. It reads, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." When they put these apocalyptic movies out, when they show, I don't know if any of you, if you look around, I mean, I could pan this camera around, of course, or probably mess up the whole scene, but if you look at landscaping, when they don't do landscaping for a while, grass grows. I see them like landscape the sidewalk. But what they do is when they pick up the grass and they landscape it, they pick the grass up and they shake it, right? The weed, well, they shake the seed right back into the ground. So guess what? It just grows back again. All right, you literally have to put chemicals in the ground to actually kill the weed. So the problem is like when you look at how nature, okay, takes over and everything survives. The plant wants to survive. So if they don't have cars driving on the road or every day, or laying new asphalt on top of the current one right now, what eventually happens is that the seeds underneath the asphalt start to germinate and they come up as trees. So you see inside these apocalyptic movies, they'll show you that the roads, basically you can't really drive on most of the roads except like the really wide highways and stuff like that. But like the back roads, the smaller roads, they quickly get devoured. Okay? Who does the landscaping and all the maintenance as far as for the beauty of these towns and these cities and these places here in Great Babylon, America? Jake does it. Okay? So you're putting the people that make your little nation, if you talk about that you want to make America great again, you're putting them inside cages like doggone dogs. Okay? So who's doing the work? Certainly not these Edomites. Most of them strung on doggone fentanyl or some other high-level, diabolical drug. They're not conditioned or not used to raising a hand or to do labor. The labor has been done by the people that are under the oppression here in Great Babylon, America. So the storehouses. Now the elites, they have food for themselves that can last for a long time. Keep in mind, as we tell you all, that they are preparing to battle Yahushua when he returns. But they're going to be commanding a lot of those maneuvers on the ground. When World War III starts, these people are going to go underground. All right, and they have these command centers underground, or these mini cities underground. Okay, including the billionaire bunkers, which they will be commanding from down below, because they're not going to be up here when we go into many scriptures. I think it's like in Isaiah, we'll talk about the earth shaking to and fro, from nuclear explosions. You have, famine, and just everything is just gone. It's all gone. Imagine just driving around in your town right now, no lights. Nobody's doing any type of like landscaping or cleaning up, garbage all over the place. Okay, and eventually as people start to lose more and more hope, they start killing each other. Nobody's picking up the bodies because nobody dares to go pick up the dead bodies. Bodies rotting. I think there's a news out there. I might have to look into it as a potential lesson. I think Dabu 7 pointed out concerning, where these migrants cross the border into this place, but there's so much death, from the mass exodus, that there's a lot of disease that's going on, and this is something a lot of you people here in the Great Babylon, America, don't really think about or consider. You don't consider your hygienic habits, which most of you are very unhygienic. okay, it's going to cost you your life. A simple cut in your hand, get some, virus in it or whatever, bacteria inside of it, okay, it can cost you your life. And this is why it's going to be very, we need Yahweh Shai really bad to save us, because someone simply scratching you can cost you your life. Somebody might come and offer you a bottle of water or offer you a cup of water you haven't drank in days. Unbeknownst to you, that water is contaminated with nuclear waste, or it's contaminated with some other, high-level bacteria crap. That's going to cause diarrhea, cause a super diarrhea, and you drink it. And in the book of Revelation, go into that, talking about wormwood, and the water's becoming bitter, and so many men die. And that's talking about basically pollution. Pollution. You understand right now the water that you drink in your house is actually sewage water. So you might poop in the toilet. When you flush it, they go and they clean that water right back up, and that's what comes out of your tap. And you're drinking basically poop water. That's basically what we drink. Okay? When they drain the water, okay, from all these houses all over the place, they just suck that water right back into these tanks, clean it up, throw some bleach inside there, and you go back and you're drinking poop water. There's more than enough water on this earth that we can drink fresh water every day. But this is what this wicked man is doing. He's feeding you poop water. All right? It reads, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they should be suddenly afraid. Suddenly you're gonna, when you realize that there's no food. Wow, those guys on the highway and the byway, they was talking about that. Those videos that we were ignoring, they were talking about that. Those men that were dressed up in what we call dresses, which is sackcloth, okay? Because we had to testify in sackcloth, okay? Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's something to it, okay? At some point in time, you'll start to think about it like that, okay? Something to it. And you will hear certain, like on certain YouTube channels, where, you see a title go, okay, biblical proportion, judgment be like, there was a earthquake or thunderstorm of biblical proportion, and they attribute it to that, but it's done in a more, I don't want to say nostalgic Christianity way. It's not really the way, like when we bring it out, how the Lord actually would do it. And yes, it is the judgment of the Lord, Yahweh Shai. However, it goes deeper than that. It says, at that time, shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So why are friends going to fight like enemies? Okay, because when you're in a critical shortage, you're not going to be in a mood to share what you have. People will start to share in the beginning. Okay? People start to share in the beginning. People will even try to work together. You can have your neighbors say, hey, you got any this and that, and people might, open their doors and allow their neighbors to come and get something like that. They're trying to, people will use their kids. Oh, hey, my kids need this and I need that. I said before, again, unless you're a part of the ministry, you know the name Yahweh Shai, like that. I don't give a crap about your damn kids. I don't care if it's a baby or a flipping little boy or girl. I don't care about your kids. It's not my seed. I don't care. I don't want none of my neighbors to come around me. Okay? So Lord willing, he has a protective veil around my household that somehow these people don't come around me. And so far, my neighbors don't really talk to me, which is good. Because I don't want to talk to them. You ain't shit, and if you think I ain't shit, that's good. See? That's one thing we agree on, okay? But, we've been promised that we would eat. One way or the other, the Lord Yahweh Shai was going to keep us safe without other people interacting with us to get the benefit of being protected by the Lord Yahweh Shai, okay? Somehow he's gonna do it. It's no different than, we come out here on the highway and the byway, week in, week out. And you would think that it'd be obvious that people would pull their cars up in the back, get out and come and take a look and inquire about the signs, the MOTB, the 12 tribe sign, and all the other, precepts on these cardboard that, we make. And we make those for a reason. We put it out there to attract you to us without us calling you. We're not IUIC where we We're gonna call you with a bullhorn and have you come over, try to antagonize you like Wi-Fi to get a reaction out of you to bring you over. Okay, yeah, that's good for entertainment, and yeah, you get 10,000 views and all that stuff like that, you know. But that's not the job that we sent out here to do. We're not sent out here to march. We're not sent out here to recruit. Okay, through flyers and promises of a big party with guys in t-shirt and fringes rapping and all that stuff, and then the dance off or the twerk off that they have. Okay, so of course that's why their group is so huge, because it's festivity. Ours is, we are in a house of mourning. Okay, physically you have pain, every part of your body is aching. Okay, and you wake up daily like, okay, what lesson can I do today? Is the Lord going to inspire me to do a lesson? You scratch around for hours looking for a news piece or other brothers' videos, trying to get something inside of you to produce a video. And sometimes it happens, and sometimes it doesn't happen. If I can get 4 videos a week plus a camp, I'm doing great. I like to do one every single day, but I'm not like some of the brothers that are very prolific in this, and you know who those brothers are. They're very prolific. They get the swag and the spirit on them to do those videos like that, and it's great. And we need those men. We need those men that can do that. Okay, because there's some of us that may only be able to produce 1 video a week. Maybe you only do camp. Okay, that wouldn't be enough to feed D-Lac. D-Lac will quickly get distracted with worldly things, and so this is the reason why we all work together, and everybody got to do the work. Everybody got to pitch in, man. You got to pitch in. All right. So you're gonna get that trumpet sound that's just gonna be like, wow, get a shortage of food. There's gonna be a rationing. They tried that in 2020 when they had the lockdown, show you what rationing looked like. Yeah, you got the money to buy it, but so what? But in the coming future, this is going to be in such a level, because leading up to this, you're going to have a lot of jobs closing down. People are going to be catching hell. And by the time you get to this level, you're going to have people who very well already gave up like that. So you're going to have people who actually can afford certain, things. Like I always tell my wife, like, look, always have your head on the swivel when you go into the supermarket, go into your car, all those things like that. In fact, I don't even let her go shop by herself anymore. I go with her, because we're in a time right now where people actually may run up on you to try to take your shit, and they might do it very violently. Okay, because the majority of people, and particularly our women, they're not thinking at that level. Okay, you see right here what it says: friends are going to turn against each other and fight against each other, and that's going to be personal. When you're friends with somebody and them become enemies, it's personal. The violence against each other is going to be a little bit different, because it's personal, man. The anger is a little bit different compared to like a random person that you might try to subconsciously try to figure out why in the hell that they would attack you. But in this case right here, your friend is going to say, look, I know you gave me some bread last week, or you helped me out with some flour, or you helped me out with some rice. And most Americans don't even know what the hell to do with flour. So they'll actually throw away flour because they have no clue that if you add some water to that, throw it inside a pan, you get pancakes, boy. Okay, they really don't put 2 and 2 together. So they actually can waste flour, because they've never cooked pancakes before, because they've always gone to the house of pancakes to go get pancakes. I'm not understanding that. And this is where you women, okay, shame on you, the fact that you have no culinary skills whatsoever, or don't know how to feed your household. All right, and that's how things are going to be. So it's going to be a tough place to live, tough place, Jake. Okay, and this is all part of that judgment that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. In fact, let's go further into second address. I'd like to bring out second address. Okay, and weekdays you go into other videos like things that we see out there in the world occurring. Of course, news and all those things like that. We bring those things out. All right. Now, camp is really just an extension of a lesson. You're more free to talk. This is the only time I actually ever show my face. I rarely ever do a video where I show my face, and I don't do live, so to speak. Okay. But we go into second Ezra 15, and start verse 10. It reads, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, which we know this place was spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. All right? But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So why would the Lord Yahweh Shemashai say that? So he said he's going to bring out his righteous people out of the land of Egypt. This is great Babylon, America. And then he's going to smite this place with plagues as he did before. Now, if you go back into Exodus and you look at the plagues that was plaguing Pharaoh, a lot had to do with famine. You know, bugs eating up the food, the crops, you know, boils and sores and stuff like that all over the body. And what we're seeing right now is like a lot of people who took that jabberoni, okay, that jab, all of a sudden, you know, right now it's starting to get a lot of illness. Those who haven't possibly gone into the spirit world, okay, are starting to get, you know, sick and illness. And they're probably going to send out a signal that is going to probably exasperate this even more to where people are going to really start to have, you know, sickness, okay? You know, my sister told me she took it because she had to travel, you know, and that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me, okay? And many members of my family, relatives, took it. I won't call them family. I don't consider people who like, oh yeah, I used to know you, and I don't call them family. I just don't. I don't, because I don't really stay in communication with them. Okay, my family is basically the brothers and sisters, that are in this ministry. Even if I haven't met you, you're still family. And I'm talking about the ones that are actually sincere, not the phony ass motherfuckers. All right. I consider you family. All right. And Lord willing, as the phonies are thinned out, and the true men of the Lord are left behind, Lord willing, I'm one of them. Okay, we already come together, okay, and can assist each other in whatever shape and form, okay, the Lord Yahweh Shemashai deemed necessary. We're going to know exactly, okay, what order, okay, it is, because it's going to be a merit order, all right? It says, Egypt shall moan, and the foundation of it should be smitten with the plague and punishment that power shall bring upon it. Now, when you talk about that word moan, Egypt should moan. America, Egypt, Great Babylon, America should moan. Are you seeing people moaning right now? Yes, we see people moaning right now. Every time we go on the YouTube, actually, you get brothers, someone will show a clip with Edomites, even Jake, moaning constantly about hardship. You know, oh, I can't do this any longer, man. I can't. Everything is so expensive. Yeah, adapt to it, man. All right, blah, 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 blah. And mainly they're moaning about what? Their inability to have free time to do what? To let their hair down and friggin' don't gonna do wickedness. Because, again, the 40-hour week, you know, mentality that people have had in this country, you know, especially you Edomites, has always been you work 40 hours a week because you got a good job that you thought was secure. You never had to go hop from job to job or work two or three jobs like Jake's do. Okay? I worked 2.5 jobs for 25 years straight. 25 years. I worked 2.5 jobs for 25 years straight. Okay? Before I was able to get into something that I had enough time to get into to be able to do, to just work out one job. Okay? But all, you know, especially in my earlier years, I just worked from morning and basically till midnight, and that was six and a half days a week. Okay, I had just enough time to go maybe do some push-ups, lift a little bit of weight in my room, and call it a day. You know, but it was a grind. So I didn't get to party the way I really was hoping to party here in Great Babylon, America. I didn't. Okay, and I have no regrets for it. Okay, you know, and of course there's a whole lot more to it and grinding and stuff like that. But of course, as brothers, we don't like to make it about me. And we can give you a lot of examples to prove that the Lord Yahweh Shemashai has placed a lot of us through hell, extreme hell. Put us through a lot of hell. Okay? So sometimes what you see right now today, there's a lot that goes behind it. Alright? There's a lot behind it. Okay? There's a lot of hell a lot of brothers caught. Okay, but we're not here to entertain your ass about how you know about it, because that's what people like to hear. People like to hear about that misery. Well, maybe there's some hope. Yeah, there's some hope. If you trust in Yahweh Shemel Shai, and if Yahweh Shemel Shai chooses you out of the world and chooses to save you, that's your only hope. It doesn't matter if you have figured out the formula okay, to turn yourself or turn your life around and all that stuff there. Did you actually figure it out? The Lord might have just set your ass up, okay, for a bigger fall in the end. All right? And we ain't never taking nothing for granted. I know I don't take nothing for granted at all. Any day right now, I could be right back where the hell I was, 20 years ago. All right? It says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for the seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation, because how the hell you working 80-90 hours a week and can't pay your damn bills? Okay? They didn't turn around now. Keep in mind, when they used to bring rent would go up, it would go up like maybe $50 a month. All right? $600 a year. Now, they're going $600 a month. Imagine your rent went from $1,200 a month to $1,800 a month. The attitude is of these doggone people is this: screw it. You can't look at that and don't think that's got to be intentional, man. Some way, somehow, they're getting their orders from somewhere to do something like that. It can't be. It just can't be coincidental that the rent is going to go from $1,200 to $1,800 a month all of a sudden. Nobody gets that kind of pay raise. So there has to be something diabolical behind the scene, or someone that's giving an orders out to these what do you call it? The owners of these real estate, the apartments or whatever the case is like that. Somebody's got to be giving out the orders to say, we need to create a situation where no matter how hard these people work, they will never have any relief. And basically that's what the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has done, is that he has created an environment where there is no relief whatsoever. And you deserve exactly that, okay, you Egyptians. Hey, remember like in Exodus, they had us, doing the bricks without straws. Bricks without straws. Okay, the straws help bound things up a little bit better compared to just using the mud that we was using to do it. But that was Pharaoh. That's what Pharaoh did. So you see, the Lord is putting that same curses on you damn people, because a lot of you taskmasters back in the day, okay, and on the plantation, okay, our Edomites walking around right now, okay, catching hell or about to catch hell, right? And it ain't gonna matter if you're an Edomite with a title or you're doing well or something like that, because the Lord already said that he's going to allow your friends to turn against you. So you might be an Edomite that might be a high-level manager at a place, or a manager or a mid-level manager doing okay. You manage to save your money. You manage to get financially, whatever the case is like that, responsible. At the end of the day, the Lord is still going to have your friend who might have had a job just like you and lost it, turn against your doggone dumbass. Okay? A lot of this is going to be a mental thing, but it says it right here. You're going to be working your ass off like that. You don't have no time to really sit back and kick back and relax and forget about vacation, forget about having fun. And this is why they're really complaining. They're really complaining because they don't have time to kick back and look at the suffering of people like me, or look at the suffering of people like, when I say me, I'm talking about the Hebrew Israelites, okay? They used to see people like us constantly in a stressful position, constantly stressed out, like, oh man, you can't make ends meet, you're in a constant begging state, okay? And then, of course, you got Jakes living on the streets and just whatever, give up, pretty much, and become a statistic where they experiment with you. I remember back in the day, 2020, 2021, when I had first started actually going out on the highway in the Bible, and I used to be out there in San Jose, okay, they would have a tent pitch up, and they'll have the homeless, Jakes, of course, so-called Hispanics and Latinos, okay, mainly, and a few Negroes, to get them food, but then they have to go and get an injection first. And I got all my channels kicked off the YouTube because I couldn't shut up, man. I had to look over there and go, you fucking motherfuckers. Just feed them the food. Why the fuck they have to turn around and get a friggin' doggone injection in their body? Okay? Just feed them that fucking pig slop that you're fucking feeding them. Taking advantage, man. And that's how the people are, that's the general consensus here in Great Babylon, America. If you are down and out, people will fucking take advantage of your ass, or they will walk all over you. Some people are built to go against that and say, man, fuck you. If I want your shit, I'll take it from you. Okay? Don't hold it in my face. And play games. And that's what you are going to see coming here in Great Babylon, America real soon. You're not going to be able to, these people are not going to be able to just hold it and go, yeah, you want this food, you got to do this and do that. No, people are just going to say, you know what? They pull out their sword and take your damn shit. In fact, let's take a look at it. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draw it nigh. And one people to stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Why? Because people are going to get to the point and go, you know what? I don't have time to negotiate, beg you, plead with you. Okay, try to work on your compassion or your good side for you to freaking go on, give me some of this on food or help me out. I'm just gonna take your damn shit, and that's how you're gonna have a society of predator and prey, and that's how it's gonna be. And you get you passive aggressive doggone so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Hispanics, your big extended bellies and shit. Okay, passive to your damn woman, your kids. You don't want to get nobody angry. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Okay. How you think this is going to play out? How the hell do you think you are going to be a damn prey? Okay. Now we talk about you Edomites all the time because a lot of you Edomites, you really believe, a lot of you damn doggone you crackers believe that you're just simply gonna you're gonna be sniping Jakes and you get your guns and all that. So does Jakes. Jake ain't scared of y'all. Let me make it very clear to you doggone you Edomites. Jake is not scared of y'all. Now, we can go into Jeremiah 30. In fact, let's bring it out. In Jeremiah 30, we're going to show a kind of fear that's going to be on Jake. Okay, this is Jeremiah 30, starting with verse 4. Now, if you go to verse 3, it says, for lo, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, northern and southern kingdom, said the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. Now, we're going to go into captivity, and we're also going to come out of captivity. We're back in captivity again. Now, listen to this. Okay, listen to this very carefully here. Okay. It says, and these are the words of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus said the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Now, why would Jason be fear, and trembling and in fear? Because imagine, you came to shake hands and negotiate, but the person you came to shake hands and negotiate has a gun, and has it cocked. Loaded and cocked with a lot of ammunition in it. That's these Edomites. That's why we tell you, Jakes, never trust their enemy. They're not looking, okay, pursuing Genesis 27 and 41, where Esau says he's going to slay his brother Jacob. They're not looking to get along or to friggin' doggone, let's unite together as one. This is going to be a process of elimination. Resources are going to be scarce. People are going to be angry. They don't want to be these Edomites ain't looking for just handout. They ain't not looking to live in no doggone welfare status. Jake has gotten used to that. These Edomites are not looking to live in no damn welfare status. They're not looking to go from friggin' on walking around with big pride and great pride to suddenly now they're just like you standing up in some long line to get a little bit of damn cream of wheat inside a damn plate. Okay? They're not looking for that. So they're gonna be real pissed. Okay? Real pissed. And in their mind, there would have been something left, and Trump is already putting that in their heads right now. The reason why there's shortages is because a lot of illegals are over here. Who's the face of illegals in this country? So-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics, especially Hispanics and Latinos. Okay? And of course, they're making the so-called blacks by using the Haitians. Okay? So, oh yeah, and speaking on that, you Africans, you other dark tribes out there who look very similar to us, and have managed to just somehow had the curses bypass you because basically the curse is on the children of Israel, not you Hamites or you Edomite or Ishmaelites. Guess what? When these Edomites when they hear, oh, it was a dark-skinned person, it was a black person, you Hamites are going to be targeted too because why? Well, you're black, right? Right. See, y'all ain't thinking about those things today. Y'all better get your head out your ass. In fact, I'm going to go into that a little bit on a lesson this week and go how this is going to play out. Okay, it says, for it shall come to pass that day. No, it says, actually now, And see whether does a man travail with child, whether do I see every man with his hand on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. If you are prepared spiritually, that this man is going to come and kill you, and your only hope of getting through it, because he's been blessed with the sword, is Yahweh Shai, then all we can do is pray to Yahweh Shai that he will, that angel of death, just like in Egypt, where we have to take lamb blood and put it on the post so that the angel of death will go past us. Okay, all we can do is just pray that it will pass us. Okay, it will pass us. But for you jakes who are unbelievers and who are looking to negotiate, and you want to walk with these Edomites, you're going to bow down. And in some cases, the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is going to allow some of you jakes to actually be spared by Esau, where Esau is going to have you spare you. But he's going to use you like a little cat. They're going to shame you. And it talks about that you're going to be hard in derision. They're going to ridicule you and shame you. Watch a movie called I forgot what the name of it is. Not The Eternals. It's with the same dude that starred in the movie Dracula. He played Zeus, and then the dude from Superman, he played Perseus. I forgot what the name of the movie is. But there was a betrayal in it. I did a lesson on it before. There was a betrayal in it like that, and the dude they crushed the dude's balls. Called him a coward. Crushed his balls and scarred his face. You know, because nobody trusts a traitor. Esau them is gonna look at you. You got men who are gonna die with dignity. You're gonna have some of us who are gonna just die with our head chopped off or whatever the hell they're gonna do to us. And you die with dignity. You die in the service of the Lord Yahweh Shemah Shai. And then you can have these sniveling freaking jakes that are just gonna be on there, right? You think anyone's gonna respect that? You think these crackers were gonna respect that? They might spare you, and the Lord might allow you to spare you so that they can do all kinds of things to you. They might freaking screw you up the ass, all kinds of shit to you. And the Lord is going to still put your ass at that one death. You deserve it, a horrible death. Okay? Weak. But why are you going to be so scared? Why is it that you're a Jake man, Northern and Southern Kingdom tribe, so-called Latinos, Hispanic, Native American, Black, Negro? Why are you going to be so scared, like it's described like a woman, trembling? Because suddenly now you realize time is up. This man is not looking to negotiate or talk anymore. Okay? And we know certain things that's leading up to that. It's going to be when you go into, in fact, one thing that can cause that, okay, is when it says no work for Egypt. Okay, let's go. Let's look into that for a second here, and then we'll close out. It says, let's see. This is Isaiah 19, and starting with verse 14. It says, the Lord Yahweh Shemashah mingle a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and of course Egypt to err in every work thereof. Meaning what? Decisions made is just really stupid, unnecessary war. But that's the Lord putting the spirit on Esau to do that. Causing the prices of things to go up. Out here, gas, when I came out here, gas was like $2. Going as low as $1.90. Now it's $4. Paychecks in El Paso is dismal and laughable. So imagine those that have to pay and live and pay double gas prices now for gas just to ride your damn car. Just to ride your car. So if gas price is up and everything else is up like that, but your paycheck hasn't gone up. I don't know what it's in California. I used to live in California. So I can imagine out there, y'all are probably paying about, $7, $8 in certain places. $6 minimum, okay? That's crazy. That's crazy. Because this man wants to go and do what? Stop Iran from doing what Iran is going to do? Because it's prophecy. Israel is going to be destroyed. There's nothing you Edomites, you crackers can do about it. Trump cannot save fucking Israel. The state of Israel, that phony ass place with them phony ass kikes, is going to be destroyed. The Lord is going to clean that land up and you doggone phonies. Okay? Clean it up. He's going to nuke it. You can't save it. Whether the nuke comes from Iran or not, the nuke itself might actually come from America. Okay? It doesn't necessarily have to come from Iran. The Lord could have one of you idiots over here push the damn button and send a freaking double ICBM over there and blow Israel ass out. And all that war and all that crap you've been fighting for was for what? Absolutely not a damn thing. Okay? And that's how the Lord is going to put a drunken man's spirit inside of you. Okay? He said, as a drunken man staggered in his Roman, neither shall there be any work in Egypt, which the head or tail, branch, or rush may do. In that day Egypt should be like unto a woman, and it should be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shemashai, which he shake it over. And then it says, and the land of Judah should be a terror unto the Egypt, everyone that make it mention thereof should be afraid. Okay, so look at the sequence of that. Okay, bad decisions by a government, okay, which is going to cause what? Food prices to go up, you know, commodity and goods, jobs losses, okay, which is going to be at all levels, all right? And then what happens afterward? As I said before, the only reason why the so-called black man take your shit from you doggone Edomites, you might be able to walk around and talk shit to a Jake, to a so-called black man face. You might be able to crack a joke, you know, you little wimpy little friggin' doggone suit wearing little crackers. Okay, all you doggone you swastika carrying motherfucker, you might walk around and think you have some authority over a Negro, okay, or you could do whatever the hell you want and get away with it. Because your court system is known for allowing y'all to hang us from trees and you get away with it. You don't have any Jakes. I don't know of any Jakes going and taking vengeance. I don't know of any Jakes going and saying, you killed, well, there was that one Jake who, when that cop killed his son, he went out and he killed a cop. And of course, there's a big cry about that, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's the only one I know of, okay? But you know, but for the amount of Hebrew Israelites that have been killed by this doggone man, okay? Jakes have not gone back and hunt your kids down and put them in the spirit world. Have not gone to the school and take out your damn sons and daughters, or go to your job and take you out in your doggone parking lot, in the parking lot, or take you out in your office in front of everybody. Jake has not done that. But I think that's going to be coming there, because once Jake's them see that they have no use for you because you can't provide a job. I'm talking about you doggone regular peasant doggone Edomites that are friggin' the ones that you said that hangs us from trees. You are it's you regular Edomites, you peasants that do all of this stuff. Okay? The elites are not the ones that did that. You're gonna see the friggin' you're not gonna see John Rockefeller doggone pulling the rope to hang a Jake from a tree. It's you regular Edomites. And see, this is what y'all think y'all gonna do that again. And then it's just gonna be business as usual, court case, nothing happens and all that stuff. But Trump telling you let's make America great again and we're gonna go back to the old days. That's not gonna be the doggone case. Y'all better sit down and think about that. Okay? That is not going to be the case at all. Not only are you going to be fighting each other and turning on each other because of the shortage of stuff, because naturally y'all hate each other, you Edomites and your cave people. But Judah, mainly basically the children of Israel, starting with doggone Judah, it's going to show y'all what fear is all about. And of course, this is going to last for a little bit, and the elites will sit back and let it happen, because this is what they're looking for. They were looking for the atrocities in the society to break down so they can bring in the MOTB. So they're moving it towards in that direction, which really the Lord Yahweh Shemashai is moving it towards that direction. Because we don't attribute nothing taking place in Great Babylon, America, good or bad, to the so-called white man. He has no power. It's all Yahweh Shemashai who's doing everything. Okay? So we don't give the white man any doggone thing that he just happens to be, okay, the vessel that is being used or exercised to do it. Plain and simple. All right? So at that stage in time, why Jason is going to be in great fear? Because once they deem Yasharada, the children of Israel, okay, enemy number one here in Great Babylon, America, the Constitution goes out the window, there's no rights, and it's kill on sight. Now imagine you live in a society where you are hiding constantly 24/7 in fear, showing your damn face out there. Fear. The fact that the color of your skin now can get you damn killed, because now you're associated with a tribe of people that has been deemed, okay, reckless and in danger to the progression of Great Babylon America, okay, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, okay, so now let's kill them. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And that's why you're going to be in fear, Jake. But there's going to be a spiritual protection of the men of the Lord, okay, or the believer who are going to be able to protect the believers. And we have our brothers, okay, the angels who are going to be around about us, protecting us. Some of us are going to be given spiritual powers when these crackers decide that they're going to come up against us, thinking that you're going to beat my wife down or beat my kids down, or you're going to just stomp our guts out like that, and we just be able to grab them and rip their fucking head off, tear them from limb to limb like that, and just take one part of one cracker and fucking kill the other crackers with it, like how Samson did. Okay, when he took the jawbone of an ass and fucking just slay a whole bunch of them motherfuckers, them Palestinians, just slay them. Okay, that's how we're gonna fucking do it too. And if you don't like it, go take it up with the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, because it's in the book. It's prophecy. Okay, so I'm gonna end it there. Lord willing, the elect was edified to close by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Kakadash. Shalom.